Hey, in this Ask Katrina, the question is, hey, Katrina, my family is telling me that I am never satisfied. Not just my family, my friends, people that know me, they tell me I'm never satisfied. Is there something wrong with me? Why can't I just be happy? That's a great question. Typically, we push as women, as high achieving women who are very focused on our careers and being successful and achieving in that world. We strive and push because of a couple of reasons. Number one, we have typically set our sights on a very specific position as we climb the ladder. Now, I know the ladder's not the ladder anymore. It's a jungle gym and you move around. But ultimately, what we've done career-wise is we've made a decision and we've said, I want to be here. And so to get here, it takes a long time. That's number one. So the time between where we start and where we want to be is probably, I'm going to say at least 10 years. Okay. That's average. It's typical. Okay. So it's like, I can't be fully satisfied until I get to that place and I'm not there yet. That's number one. We've set a point where we think we're going to be happy. And usually that is around and mostly decided by where we are in our careers. The other thing that we do is because we set our sights so far in the future and specifically around our careers, is that as we're climbing and moving and making the moves to get there, we've also told ourselves that as we climb and we move, that we're going to get a little happier, that we're going to make a little bit more money, we're going to have a little bit more status, we're going to have the things that matter. And I'm not going to tell you that those things shouldn't matter. They do matter. They matter. We've made a decision in our careers and in our lives to say, I want to make X amount of dollars because I want to be able to take care of my family, or because I want to be able to donate, or because I want to be able to go see the world, take these trips. So we've set a financial target for ourselves. Okay. And we've also said, I want to hit these job titles and have this status because I've earned it. The title represents the work that I've put in and what I've earned. But what we said as we're moving through this process is we said, I'm going to have a little bit of this. I'm going to get a little happier because I'm getting closer. And we're still dissatisfied. And people can't understand it. They're on the outside looking in and they're saying, why can you not be happy? You have all of these things. You have a beautiful family. You make all this money, right? You have a wonderful home. You just took this great vacation. Why aren't you satisfied? And the reason being, again, is a couple of things. Number one, we haven't reached the ultimate goal. And so we're still striving and pushing and sacrificing and going and moving forward. And then the other reason is, and what we slowly start to realize is that our career is not going to give us everything that we want when it comes to happiness. And so we're going to have to figure out how to do some of that in other places, right? That's the key. So if you're sitting here and you're like, Katrina, my family tells me the same thing. They tell me I'm never satisfied and I always want more. Well, that's not a bad thing. All right. So if you're taking it as a bad thing, it's not a bad thing. It just means that you've set a goal and you're not there yet. Right. The other thing is that I would tell you, and I know you hear it all the time, but listen, like seriously listen and take this in. You must allow yourself to enjoy today. If the only thing that's going to bring you happiness in your mind is reaching that end point, then you've sort of missed the point of living. Okay, because the end point in life is what? Is death. We're gone. The whole point of life is to enjoy, right? Is to enjoy the whole path. So enjoy the path. Now, the other thing that I see, not only do we set the goal so far in the future and then we're not enjoying the path, this is the third thing that I see, is that as we're moving forward and we're moving through our careers, we don't understand all of the things that we need to be doing to help us go to the next level faster. Okay. Right. If I say it takes on average 10 years, your inherent question probably is, okay, Katrina, how do I shrink that down to 8 or even 5? Like, how do I make that shorter? So I'm going to enjoy the 5 years. That's fine. I got you. I heard you. But how do I shrink it? How do I run faster? And so if that's ultimately your question, then you've got to get into a situation where you can learn how to add the highest amount of value in the lowest amount of time so that you can climb the ladder or go across a jungle gym or whatever it is you call it, ultimately to get you to that executive position, the role that you've been striving for the bulk of your career, right? You've got to trade, and this is what we say in the world that I live in, you got to trade dollars for speed. And the way that you do that is you bring in someone who knows how to do it, or you join a program, or you learn, right? You learn. You don't learn from the people around you because they probably haven't perfected it. They're figuring it out like you. You need to go and spend some time with someone who has figured it out. And if that's you, that's where you are, come and let's teach you how to exec correctly, right? Because that's my question. Are you execing correctly? Or are you a hypo that's trying to get to be an executive and you want to be able to exec correctly because you know if you can do this, you're going to be running faster and you can shrink 10 years down to 5? If that's you, send me a DM. Send me a DM and tell me if you're execing correctly or not, or if that's what you're worried about, or you're a high potential and you want to be execing correctly so you can shrink 10 down to 5. I would love to hear from you.